Wow, welcome once again to Mathematics Meal, a nice program that many have started enjoying, and I believe that you will also enjoy it. If this is the first time you are watching Mathematics Meal, we are still looking at sword. Last time we considered the meaning and types of sword, and today we are going to look at the basic rules in sword. Remember, there is every need for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Facebook, so that you will be enjoying our mathematics meal. Not just mathematics alone, you also enjoy our physics meal and enjoy our chemistry meal. Remember, a meal a day from mathematics meal will cure a lot of mathematical diseases in you. Don't mind me. All right, today, like I said, we are going to look at basic rules in what? In sword. You remember that we said that swords are roots of numbers that we cannot express as whole numbers or as rational numbers. So once we have such roots, those numbers excuse me, are said to be what? Are said to be sword. All right, so we want to look at the rules, basic rules. There are so many rules, but let's begin with the basic rules in sword. You know, whenever you fail to follow rules, if you begin to break rules, you will become a criminal. So if you don't want to be a criminal in sword, then you need to know the rules that guide what? That guide sword. Because if you become a criminal by breaking rules in sword, definitely the police, the swordic police will arrest you. And when you are arrested, you will be locked up in the cell, the swordic cell, and you'll be taken to the court of sword. And whatever thing that happens to you there, my hands are not there. All right. Let's look at these rules quickly, and then this just what we are going to look at in this video. So just follow me. Let's look at these rules quickly, and then we'll be off. Now, if m and n are non-zero digits, then we can make the following statement. These rules will exist. If m is not 0 and n is not 0, then the following rules exist. Square root of m plus square root of n is not the same thing as square root of m plus n. You know, let's look at this statement. Square root of m plus square root of n. What it means, find square root of m, add it to the square root of n. In other words, find square root of this, find square root of this, and add. That's what the statement means. Square root of m plus square root of n. It means find square root of this, keep it. Find square root of this, keep it. Then add the square root. But this one implies add these two numbers before finding the what? The square root. Here, find square roots before adding. Add these numbers before finding the square root. So we are saying that when you find square roots before adding, and when you add before finding square root, the results are not the same. For example, let's say that I have let me choose any number. It is workable for all the numbers. It's possible for all the numbers, except what? Except 0. That's why we started by saying that if m and n are non-zero digits, so it's possible for all the positive numbers that we have. Very much possible for all the positive numbers that we have. So if m, let's say that m is for this addition, I want us to use the numbers that we have perfect squares, so that it will be easy for us to evaluate the square root. But it works for both the numbers that have perfect squares and numbers that do not have perfect squares. So for all the positive numbers is possible. So now if m is, let's say, 16 and n is 9, let's check this. That means square root of m plus square root of n, we have said is not equal to square root of m plus n. Find square root before adding, and add, then find square root. They will not give us the same result. That's the meaning of that. So let's prove it using numbers. Supposing m is 16 now, and I decide to fix 16. Square root of 16 plus square root of 9 will not give me the same thing as square root of 16 plus 9. What's square root of 16? It's going to be 4. What's square root of 9? 3. It is not equal to square root of 25, because 16 plus 9 will give me 25. Now 4 plus 3 is 7. and 7 is not equal to what? 5. Because square root of 25 is what? 5. So you see, 7 is not equal to 5. That proves that square root of m plus square root of n is not equal to square root of m plus what? Plus n. I decided to use real numbers, to use numbers, so that we'll now see the meaning of this particular word, rule, this first rule in sort. So not when you have, maybe you have square root of 8 plus square root of, let's say, 9, and then you now begin to combine this to say square root of 8 plus 9 is 17. No, that's mathematically incorrect. It's incorrect. It's anti-mathematics. It's against the law of sort. All right, I believe this is clear now. Okay, we take off the second rule, the second basic rule. The second basic rule is on subtraction. It's still similar to that of addition. We say that square root of m minus square root of n is not the same thing as square root of m minus n. Finding square root before subtracting is not the same thing as subtracting and then finding square root. It's not the same. Okay, let's take another number. Remember, I said I'm choosing random numbers that can give me perfect squares at the end of the day. Let's say that m is 100 and n is 64. Okay, let's use another number. Let's say m is 25. Okay, and n is, let's say, 16. Let's use this. So we are trying to prove that this minus that is not the same thing as m minus n. So let's plug this in. Square root of 25, because we have said that m is 25, minus square root of 16 will not give me the same value as square root of 25 minus 16. What's the square root of this? 5. What's the square root of this? 4. It will not be the same result as 25 minus 16 will give me what? 9. So what's the square root of 9? 3. 5 minus 4 is what? 1. So 1 is not equal to what? 3. So finding square root of numbers and then subtracting the square root, it's not the same thing as, first of all, subtracting the numbers and then finding their what? Their square root. It's not the same thing. So when you are trying to evaluate or simplify expressions involving sort, you need to be careful because of these rules, so that you don't violate the rules. Remember, if you violate the rules, whatsoever thing that sort decide to do to you, it's your business. It's not my business, because that's why we are giving you these rules now, so that you will not go about violating these rules. All right, let's look at what happens in multiplication. Square root of m times square root of n is the same thing as square root of m times n. That means in multiplication, square root, finding the square root and then multiplying is same thing as what? Multiplying before finding the square root. Very much the same. Okay, very much the same. Quickly, if we have square root of m times square root of n is the same value as m times n. Okay, let's see. If m is 16 and n is 9, let's return to the former numbers that we use. If I plug them in here, I have 16 times square root of 9. That will give me something as 16 times 9. Okay, let's find the square root first before multiplying. Square root of 16 is 4 times square root of 9 is what? Is 3. Wow, look at this. 16 times 9 is 144. Now 4 times 3 is what? 12. Square root of 144 will give us what? 12. Wow. So when you have square roots of numbers multiply, it's the same thing as finding the square roots before multiplication and multiplication before finding the square root. So that means if I have numbers under the square root form and they are multiplying, I can separate them. If I have square root of 2 times 3, I have the right to write it as square root of 2 times square root of what? 3. I have every right to split this. So I can split radicals using what? Multiplication. But nobody, you don't have right to say, oh, square root of 5 is the same thing as square root of 2 plus square root of 3. Well, that will be mathematically wrong. It is unmathematical, anti-mathematics, totally against mathematics. And so we will not permit this in maths. We will not permit it if you just say that this is equal to this. This is, you can't permit this in maths. Mathematics will not accept this because this cannot be this. So take note of that. Okay. Finally, on the basic rules, there is need for us to look at that of division. Let me use, in the case of division, I want to use m equals 100 and n equals 25. Let me just use this. Even if, no matter the number, I've said it before, no matter the numbers that you decide to use, the same result. The same result. You will not, any number, randomly, you can choose any number and you will arrive at this result. You will be able to prove this using any number, provided the numbers are not what? Are not zero. They are not zero. Okay. Okay, let's look at this. So square root of m divided by square root of n is same thing as square root of m divided by square root of n, which is something as square root of m over n. So the meaning is that let me find the square root before division is the same thing as dividing them before finding the word square root. So let me find the square root. Square root of 100 is my beautiful 10 divided by square root of 25 is my handsome 5. Now square roots, okay, let's divide now. You know, we have to find the square roots now before division, but here let's first of all carry out the division operation before finding the square root. 25 can divide 100, that will give me what? 4. Okay, 10 divided by 4, that's when 5 divides 10, we are going to have 2, and square root of 4 is also what? 2. That's beautiful, very beautiful. So these are the basic rules in what? In SOLD. So anyone that wants to solve problems in SOLD must take note of these rules. Very, very important. There is need for you to take note of these rules because they will help you to solve problems in SOLD without making mistakes. All right, that's all on the basic rules of SOLD. Remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share our videos, leave comment for us. We want to improve in every aspect. If you are still finding any area difficult in SOLD, do well to send a message to us, either through our Facebook, through our email, or you can leave a comment in our YouTube channel. Till I come your way next time, remember, a meal a day is very, very important, and that meal, you can only find it in Mathematics Meal 1 and also at Mathematics and Science Meal on Facebook. As you enjoy our meal, you are going to become mathematically healthy, and you also become healthy in physics and healthy in chemistry. I love you all. Thank you.